So what's going to happen is that we must work hand in hand, wherein you must assess, like, how come from the maybe 10 ETs that you had, only one enrolled. We must work hand in hand as to what do you think is the reason why the students aren't buying your class. Of course, I can also help you assess, like, what I can see from like a random checking of the class. But at the same time, um, I can help you ask the TA, like, what's the general feedback of the student, why they are not, what is the problem? Because we don't know, right? Let's say we have already done our assessment, that we can also do. Okay, so since, as I've mentioned, you have access to that, yeah, just check it out. Okay, let's go to the file now. This is my thing talk. Wait, share screen. Yeah, since we still have more time, Teacher Alvin, can you please continue this part?
Which part?
This part.
Um, admit button. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, admit button, share screen button, check periodically for delays if at all. All lesson materials are previewed and prepared in advance. Class notes are pre-prepared and saved. Leave a message in the system for cancellation support from TAGCSOP
Yeah, so this
message.
was the one that was showed by Teacher Justine. What I was saying was that there was an instance that probably the teacher did not admit the student on time. Maybe the student was waiting there. So you must pay attention to the admit button, right? I hope all of you are aware of that.
Yes,
Uh,
PM.
Teacher Rashid, please pay attention to the admit button. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, at what time should you start the class, Teacher Rachel?
3 minutes before the class time.
Yes. Now the VOOV usage of the VOOV Enterprise is being monitored. So let's say the class is at 3 o'clock. You enter 2:57. So at what time should you end the class? 50-minute duration, 1.0, right? At what time should you end the class if the class is at 3 o'clock?
350.
3:50. Okay. So let's say you're not yet done. You can extend up to 2 minutes. I mentioned up to 4. Don't push it to 5 minutes because it's almost overtime na si VOOV. So please pay attention to the VOOV usage. The moment you go over than that, it will appear in the monthly report. You get it. So please pay attention to that. Of course, the new teachers will have a little bit of challenge there, but please, if you have a timer, manage your time well. Okay. Um, this one can help you. If you cannot manage your time well, if you prepare some of the materials, just like the band score feedback, paulit-ulit lang naman yun eh. For Chinese students, nasa ano lang sila eh. Band score between 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. Usually mataas na yung 7. Wala namang 8 and 9. Diba? Tama ba ako?
Yeah.
So, meaning to say, pagdating sa band score feedback, ano yung mga recommendation mo? Paulit-ulit lang naman. E di i-prepare mo na. Class notes. Notepad or sticky notes. Copy-paste. But then, of course, dapat medyo personalized. So you need to put there some examples based on the performance so that you can save time. Okay. Um, Next, establish good rapport, Teacher Rexy. Can you
Teacher,
please read it?
yeah, teacher knows how to ask relevant questions that can open conversation and maintain interesting and engaging conversation relevant to students' experiences and language objectives.
Yeah, the thing with this, why is it here, is that since you have a lot of classes day in and day out, the teacher becomes routinary. It doesn't strike like the teacher is probably tired or something like that. So the conversation is just like mechanical, you know. So I don't know how you're gonna do it. Maybe if you need to have a break or something, or file a leave so that whenever you have your class, it can be really fun and engaging and interesting. You know, it's just like even if you are correcting the answers, it's also important that you maintain the rapport. Hindi yung parang, kunwari, yung aga-aga ng class. Tapos parang napaka-automatic nung pagko-correct mo. So, meron na ring negative feedback na gano'n. That's why I'm sharing. So what I'm saying is that whenever you do feedback and correction, maintain the rapport. Make sure you still make it interesting and engaging. You get it? And I think I think primarily the students just wants to be like talked to and heard. You get it? Hello?
Yes,
Yep.
TM.
Kausap ba ako?
Yes, dear.
Okay, this is just a sample ice-breaking recording. Is this teacher Jennings? Let me
Hi,
see.
good morning, can you hear me? Okay, great, nice. Yep. So my name is Jenny. I'll be your teacher today. It's okay
How are
to call
you,
you
Elvis?
Elvis?
Always.
Great.
My child's name is 何以轩.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Nice to
nice
meet
to
you,
meet you,
Elvis.
Elvis.
It's
It's
morning,
morning,
actually.
actually.
So,
So,
how are you
how are
this
you this
morning? How's
morning?
your
How's your
Wednesday
Wednesday
morning?
morning?
Not
Not
really
really
good, I
good, I
think.
think.
Just
Mm-hmm.
stay up an hour before,
An
before
hour
an
before.
hour ago.
An hour
Yeah.
ago.
So,
I
I
see. Well,
see. Well, that's
yeah. So,
nice.
have
So
you
have
had
you had
breakfast?
breakfast?
Yeah, just
Just
a
a
simple
simple
breakfast.
breakfast.
A
Just
simple
a
Like
porridge
porridge
and
and
breakfast.
uh,
uh,
bowl of
bowl of
porridge
porridge
and a
and
cup
a
of
cup of
coffee. Yeah.
coffee. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's good
that's
to
good
know.
to
All
know. All
right.
right.
Okay, me
Okay,
too.
me too.
Just a cup
Just a
of
cup of
coffee
coffee
and
and
sandwich.
sandwich.
That's
That's
all,
all.
actually.
Actually.
All right.
All
Anyway,
right.
I would
Anyway, I
like
would
to
like
know
to
a
know
bit
a bit
about
about
you,
you,
Elvis.
Elvis.
So, could you tell
Could you
me a
tell
bit
me a
about
bit about
yourself?
yourself?
I may
I
know, are
may
you
know, are you
working
working
or still
or still
studying?
studying?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I'm
still
still
studying
studying
at
at
Lanzhou
Central
University,
University.
and
And
Oh,
my
my
major
major
is
is
data
data
science.
science.
You know
You know
that?
that?
wow,
Wow,
data
data
science.
science.
Yeah, data
Oh, that's a
science
tough
Step
one.
one.
and
Mm-hmm.
big data technology. Yeah, that's it.
Wow. You like
You
it?
like
In
it?
my
In my
yeah,
yeah.
decade,
Okay.
and
Oh,
in
In
my
my
fourth
fourth
year,
year,
my
my
fourth year
fourth year
student.
student.
I see. You're
You're
graduating.
graduating.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I'm
wow.
graduating.
graduating.
Okay,
Okay,
that's good
that's
to
good to
know.
know.
I see. You're
You're
enjoying
enjoying
your
your
major at
major
this
at this
time,
time,
right?
right?
Uh, uh,
Uh,
I think
I
yeah,
think yeah,
but at
but
the
at
same
the same
time,
time,
sometimes I
sometimes I
have
have
very much
much
homework that
homework
I
that I
have
have
to
to
do.
do.
So
So
that work
that work
really makes
really
me
makes me
crazy.
crazy.
Ah,
Ah,
okay. Thank
thank
you.
you.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, thank you
Well,
for
thank you for
sharing that
sharing
with
that
me.
with me.
Anyway,
Anyway,
speaking of
speaking of
enjoyment,
enjoyment,
Elvis,
Elvis,
how do you
how do you
usually
usually
like to
like to
spend your
spend your
weekend or
weekend
free
or free
time?
time?
Okay, what I was trying to share here was that although it's scripted, you can hear that the teacher's demeanor is friendly, and it's just like the teacher is really speaking to the student. You get it? It's not routinary. You get it? So you got the idea. You can be formal, but at the same time be approachable or professional rather than formal. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I wanted to share here. Let's move on to the next one, team spirit. Who can read this? Teacher Near, are you still there? Teacher Ann, nakasign si Teacher Ann. Teacher Shell, team spirit.
Work spirit knows how to send a brief and concise message to TAGC politely, coordinating timely and thoroughly with class ID at all times.
Yeah, so here's like an example of that. Teacher received an urgent booking advice. So you see that the teacher replied with "Good morning, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I see it. Thank you, ma'am." It's a lot of, but teacher weekly is the one that I shared with you that he gets a lot of annual classes, and of course it started with ET classes. He is the highest paid teacher in my team. His salary amounts to, I think he started with something like less than 15 on his first month, and then second month climbed already up to 30 plus. Then now he's hitting 50 up.
Sana oil.
Ang galing. Ang galing niya. So he would start early in the morning, may mga classes siya in noontime, and then there's a lot in the evening. That's for G. Sure. So if you can see here, teacher received an ET advice. You see that teacher sounded like, what can I say, like thankful for the ET class. You see how he said, "Okay, sir, no problem. I'll do my best to help the student and make him satisfied." Because yun naman talaga yung goal in each class. It's to make the student satisfied. If the student said, "Oh, teacher, today I feel like just doing a free talk," don't argue with the student. Just make it a point that you just inform the TA that the student wanted to do a free talk now, and then it's on record in the recording, and that's all that matters. So pagka napunta ka sa tracker, then you tell me that the student at this point in time just wanted a free talk. Don't argue. So it also happened that for an ET class, the student doesn't want our PREC method or the IMF method. What do you think should you do, Teacher Maggie? If say for instance, the student has his or her way of answering the questions, what should you do?
Para sa akin po, okay lang po kasi since it's practically his or her class, so yeah, so okay lang po. I'll
Correct.
just probably do whatever the student wants and then go with it.
Yeah, go along with it, right? Because after all, it's their class. And I'd like to mention that to answer an IELTS questions, the PREC method and the IMF method isn't the only way to respond. I think Teacher Shell, it's my first time to watch your class earlier because of the you sent me your sample class. Teacher Shell has developed a little bit of her style when it comes to presenting the PREC. She doesn't just use the selections in the PREC. She has her own. But make sure that somehow at the very beginning of the ET class, you can also make use of the teaching material because after all, the student, when they access the system, they also see that in the system. See, so you'd better mix both. If you have a suggestion, by all means, you can upgrade the content of the teaching material as you teach. That's fine. Okay. So here is a sample of teachers' emergency cancellation due to, typhoon and all that. So the teacher will have the announcement of the area. You see that this one is very important, is to establish the credibility of what the teacher is saying, especially if it's happening not just not just one time or a few times, but maybe several times, because typhoon most of the time would happen several times, especially during the typhoon season, right? So it's important to you keep tab of any announcement, Facebook or whatever it is, where you can find. Just like for me, I can find that in Facebook or in, what's that? Yung X,
Twitter.
Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah. So that one. So you check that out. You follow all those if you can, because you will be needing for announcement. Okay, and also for cancellation dispute. So as you can see here, number 2, can you continue?
Number 2, knows how to coordinate with the TM and monitor the team's GC at all times.
Okay, as you can see here, I would announce very so often. So the thing is, it's not very convenient for anyone to keep on following up. I know that you are busy, except that I believe I am most of the time, I do multiple tasks, teachers. So, meaning to say, if let's say I chat with you, I'm actually chatting with several people in our chat room or in the Ding Talk. So it's not very convenient for me first to repeat what I said in the GC. So it's very, very important that you monitor the GC. You see? Because what's going to happen is that come deadline and teacher hasn't responded, ganun din kukuhain ko rin sa GC. You get it? So it's better that you know how to cooperate. Like ito yung announcement, masalubong mo sa GC. Pag tiningnan mo sa GC, intindihin mo muna, you know. Check the details because most of the time there are a lot of details. Okay, and then if you have a question, feel free to ask me. Can I give you a call? Because this part I really don't understand. That's fine. It's better that we talk quickly in Skype. That's fine. Okay. So this one, I really appreciate this. It's very, very important. Questions? This is like our cooperation. Any questions here?
Wala po.
None.
I think none.
Okay. Next would be this one. Please continue, Teacher Shell.
Regularly checks buying rate report in the teacher's system. Steps: click buying rate report under statistic report. Select date range. For example, December 1 to December 13.
Yeah, a good date range would be at least 1 month to check your buying rate. But of course, the one that I send in the GC is the weekly buying rate. Okay. So as you can see here, maybe I can make this big. You see here, this is the successful trial, failed trial black, and no result. Ito yung no decision yet, kaya failed trial black. Pwedeng later, pwedeng hindi na talaga, so nandito siya. No result is talagang matagal na, tapos walang rate. So ito na yung buying rate mo, 50%.
I think, yeah. Yung exam nila tomorrow, plus ngayon lang nag-80, so no result. Yeah, I
Pwedeng
guess.
ganun.
Pwede din.
The thing with tomorrow na yung exam,
Oo, tapos
if
ngayon lang
they,
na.
okay, di nag-exam sila. If they fail, they come back to you if they like your class.
Meron ba?
Yeah.
I see.
Yes. Meron namang they already passed, but they keep on studying with you because they want to maintain the good practice. So it's here under statistic report. New teacher Rishid, make sure to finish your assignment. It's over here every Monday because magpa-pop up yon kung undone. And then magpa-pop up din sa akin.
Yes.
And this is where you file your leave. Okay, and then salaries here. Salary check. Ito yung previous salary month. Okay. Please continue.
Assignment. Explanation why the the assignment, sorry, is the principal's.
Why the assignment is the principal. Wait, sorry. This is explanation. Why assignment? This is a question. Anyway, let me explain this part. It pops up in your system when there's failed ET, right? So this is when it prompts you to analyze this class. Then you put here the reasons, probable reasons that you think you failed the ET class. Then, of course, if you have that assessment or awareness that probably this class didn't make it is because of these factors, then you can correct that soonest that you can. Because the thing is, if you're not aware of that, how can you even correct? That's one. Next, can you please read this?
If you can.
Steps. If you get an assignment in your system, you must do the following. First, check the ED class that failed. Reflect and analyze what are the things you can improve on. Two, list down what are the actionable steps you can employ and apply in your classes to make your trial classes better for your trial students to want to purchase your classes and study with you.
Yeah. Anyone, please, because we're talking about high buying rate and EP. Do you have an idea how to do this? Teacher Rexy,
You can watch the recording
you can watch the recording
and
and
then,
then what?
Assess yourself.
assess yourself.
Assess
Evaluate.
yourself
Yeah.
based on what?
Based on the
On your delivery of the task.
based on
Performance.
the Excel file.
Sorry, Teacher Alvin.
Based on the Excel
File, yes. Because in the Excel file, it's all detailed there. Warm up, what are the things that you missed? Di ba dun sa Excel file, there's a teacher is smiling, blah, 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 and all that. You see. So if let's say answer correction. So at the very first part is teacher needs to do a correction on correction and feedback on the original answer. There's a sequence to that, right? So if you did not follow maybe one or two in that section, then that's where you can improve on. Is your guideline to improve your ET class. Because number one, what's going to happen to you if you are low buying rate? First, we will assess your class. Secondly, you will do another demo. Yeah. So from PREC, when you did your first demo, you will do the IMF. So then your average score has to be 85, meaning kailangan magaling ka na. And the core has to be there, right? And then of course, if there are some things that needs to improve on in a major manner, then of course there's like some coaching from me and from QC. So basically, we help you. We help you make it how to make your class better. So then, but first, it must come from you. And then what do you do on your side? It's what teacher Alvin said. Okay, let's move on. I think you know this already, right? So this is
Yes.
the date
Yes po.
range. This is the information, right?
Yeah, the buying rate.
Okay, can you read this one? Teacher Shell.
Okay. Steps. Okay. Few students purchase your classes and enroll with you. First, apply steps in failed ET class and attend the retraining that will be arranged by your TM. Second, review the orientation file as chances are you have been missing. Chances are you have been missing, sorry, on some salient points that can strengthen the basics and your foundation as an IELTS teacher of GE or of GE teacher or GE teacher.
Or GA teacher.
Third, review the guideline of a good IELTS or GE class in Ding Talk and refresh your memory.
Okay, you know it. You have access to the Ding Talk, right? Just review the part that you think you forgot. And then of course we have the guideline. Also we have the orientation. It's also there. I think that's all. You can also ask me. Okay. Continue please, teacher Shell.
What are the benefits of high buying rate? First, high volume of normal lessons. Second, the students line up for future bookings. Third, high trust from TAs and they look forward to work with the teacher and send the ETs to them. Fourth, this in turn translated to a good and stable income. And lastly, stable and well supported teacher translate to good service to students.
Yeah, apart from that, which I didn't include here, is that if you are an excellent teacher, um, and we can work well, of course, you will receive the offer that if ever we have an opportunity to work with another company, just like Partner English has a partner company, or let's say there's like Teacher Alvin, I offered you the GE, now Teacher Rexy is there. So you get to be offered firsthand for these opportunities. Apart from that, for excellent teachers, because we have some like leveling, teacher A, teacher B, teacher C. So if you are in teacher A, meaning to say that you don't have negative feedback, or also you have high buying rate, then you have the opportunity to be an examiner for both. It can be IELTS or G. Yeah, it means to say if you have free time, in the when you had your demo, there are some examiners, you can be one of them, and the rates will be like a VIP teacher. Okay. Sometimes there are some other work, just like recording or maybe writer, then I can offer that if you are excellent. You are already here. Okay. So this one is an example of a teacher with a high buying rate. Teacher Aryan has always, most of the time, have high booking. So you can see her schedule, it's always booked in advance. So her leave has to be filed in advance as well. So I think she would open more than the requirement too. And she won't have a lot of cancellations. Okay. Now we're done to the comprehension check. Just read it randomly, please, Teacher Maggie.
All of it po, TM.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, comprehension check. Number 1, what is another term for buying rate? Number 2, what is the primary function of TAs? Number 3, what are the top 7 characteristics you must have to have a high buying rate? Number 4, at the end of a trial class, what is the last step you must do to complete the class? Number 5, how do you avoid a negative feedback from your students? Number 6, what must you do to cancel a class? 7, what are the metrics that we use for each partner English teacher?
Okay, I believe we have covered all these. These are the answers, basically. And each of you who have attended, I need you to send to me the answers of the comprehension check. Then I can check it out if you have really understood what we talked about today. Is there any questions about the comprehension check?
Wala.
I think
Anyone?
yeah.
All clear?
Yes.
Number
You-
2, what is
you-
the
you-
primary functions of TAs?
Yeah, what anyone who can answer. Anyone who can answer what is the primary function of PAs?
To get
Nasagutan ko na
students?
po.
What?
Anong sagot nyo para
Nalagay ko na sa
Sagot nyo, para ko
sa
kopya.
Word sa Microsoft Word po nailagay ko na yun.
Yeah, Teacher Maggie, what's the function of PA primarily?
To directly communicate to the students po.
No.
They serve as your marketing, forgot the term.
Yes.
to get you students, to get teacher students?
So what function is that? When they get
They
To-
will be the one
students for
who
you.
ano.
Yeah,
Give
to look for
students.
students for the teachers, I guess.
Yeah. So what is that? What is the term for that?
Marketing,
And
Chanabel.
sales. Marketing and sales.
Marketing and sales.
Okay. So marketing and sales.
So hindi mo lang siya assistant. Siya ang marketing arm mo sa China.
Okay.
So
Marketing
very
army?
nice to your PAs.
Hmm,
Eh
okay.
pero ganun din TM, 'di ba? Kasi sila yung nagko-communicate.